Jorge, so good to have you here in London. It was your first trip during the press conference, and you said you wanted to go to Stonehenge and do a bit of sightseeing. Did you make it there?
No, I didn't make it to Stonehenge. A couple people gave me reviews on it, and then I was like, nah, I'm not going to go there.
A little too far.
A little too far, and then they told me the scene's not really worth it, so I think I just ended up eating a lot of food that day, just going to eat as much Indian food as I can, because I love Indian food, and I know Indian food here is spectacular, so.
Yeah, you get good Indian food here and fish and chips, but you haven't had that yet,
I haven't had that. I'm waiting for the fish and chips till, like, the fish and chips expertise guru takes me there,
Okay, we'll get you some recommendations.
Yes.
Look, it is great for us to have you as this main event here in London. The UK fans of you said are very educated on MMA. We know you come to fight, and what I love is that both yourself and Darren are not smack talking. You're basically two guys that just want to get in there and brawl. So when you met him or face off with him a few months ago, what did you take away from that? Standing in front of him, whether it's the size difference, the approach, did you take anything from that? And
I took a lot. I took a lot from that.
Yeah.
But I can't say too much. But I'll tell you this much: he's a young bull,
Young bull.
Young bull, yeah. And I'm a wise tiger.
Young bull versus a wise tiger. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm leaning towards you saying it's your experience that you feel will make a difference here.
Besides my agility, speed, and the radar that God blessed me with, yeah, the experience is definitely gonna help.
Okay, so talking stylistic-wise, he has that Muay Thai, he has the elbows, he has the kicks. I was talking to Darren about your sort of grab and counter technique as well, which is very good with you. But we talk about your underrated wrestling and grappling. Is that an approach? Is that part of the game plan that you think could work against Darren?
Definitely, it's a fight. There's nothing you can say. If there's one thing I know about fighting is that nothing is off the table. Yeah. No matter how bad a technique might be in training, it might just can happen in a fight. It's weird like that how fighting has so many laws and principles, but at the same time, all of them don't mean nothing. They could be broken and stuff. So there's nothing in a fight that can happen. Darren could take me down. Anything could happen in a fight. So I'll definitely be fighting with all my tools, but I'm not gonna break his face. If I'm speaking from my heart, I want to punch him in the face. Not nothing personal, but it's just what I like to do, and what I like to do with the Darren that is known for his stand-up.
Okay. Well, he made a bold prediction, didn't he, saying that he wouldn't be happy unless he got you out in the first round. He said that to your face during that sort of round table. You want to, what was it, break his face or whatever you just said. What makes the difference? Who gets off first?
Will, skill, experience, heart makes a difference. I think there's a check mark on all of mine.
Yeah.
Some on his, maybe,
Okay. What about the fact this is your first fight in almost a year and a half? You've had that time away. And a lot of people are saying that you're a kind of this rebirth or this reborn version of yourself. Do you feel different? Do you feel like, obviously you've got the experience, but do you feel a bit of time away is giving you a different mindset?
Different mindset, and also in this time away, I cut off a lot of negativity. It was draining the energy sources.
Like what?
From my life. I can't get into too much detail, but it is coming out in my book. You can read it in the book. But it's just a lot of that. We don't have the name yet, but it's coming out soon though. Yeah. But just like crazy negativity in my life that I've been slowly chipping away, and I'm done to like 20% left of some negativeness I gotta get away. And I'll be completely negative free from things that don't need to be in my life, and that really helps out a lot. But that I haven't fought in a year and something, you get a fish and you throw it in water, it doesn't matter when, it's gonna swim, I've fought since I can remember. If you ask my dad, I've been fighting since I'm 3 years old at daycares and stuff, and I started professionally at 18. I don't have to be in the gym, I don't have to train, I do it because I love to do it, but I could walk outside of this hotel right now, somebody tries to mug me, and it could be like 3 of them, and they're gonna get beat up. It's just what I do.
It's an instinct within you. It doesn't
need to be. It's a primal instinct. That's why people are so drawn to it. Because it's hardwired in all of us, that instinct to survive. You're either gonna die or kill. And it's also very entertainment in an art form once you get good at it. So that doesn't worry me at all.
Is that Street Fighter background that you have that comes out?
Yeah, you could say street fighting, but if I had never done those street fights, it's just still something that was in me. If you give me a ball and you tell me to shoot it at a rim, whatever, give me 100 tries maybe and make it in a couple times. Or any other sport, it's not my thing. But fighting doesn't matter where I've been. If you send me to Jupiter to go fight the champion over there, I'll get the job done,
So time difference, someone else's backyard, none of that makes a difference.
Doesn't really matter,
But do you think it doesn't affect you, but it gives Darren an advantage?
It gives him an advantage with the judges.
Yeah, that's something I wanted to ask you about. So you feel, I've heard you say that you feel you need to actually finish this. If you leave it to the judges, you've got a lot of split decisions in your history already. You're a little concerned it could potentially go against you.
Oh, I know for a fact.
Right.
I haven't seen Americans do well against British when it comes to decisions. That I could remember, I can't really remember an American beating a British on decision, you know.
In Britain.
Yeah. Dan Henderson versus Bisping Part 2 was like point case and example, you know, like, wow, that was a super robbery to me, and I just don't get it how.
So you got to finish this fight.
Yeah, you got to finish this fight. And plus, I've fought in overseas plenty of times. I fought a Korean in South Korea, and it was a split decision. Anywhere else in the world, I get a big majority victory, you know, but, you know, things happen. Whatever, I learned from that, though, you know. It costed me a lot of money at that time, me losing that, because I get to move a lot more further in my career getting that victory. But what I learned from there to take into here is invaluable, you know.
Okay. What will a win over Darren, who's number 3 seed, so obviously it moves you up the rankings, but what will that win both do for you and mean to you?
Fight for the title.
Yeah. You feel this puts you in a position to fight for the title?
I couldn't see any other way. How not, you know. He just can't. His only loss is to the champ. And before that, he's looked real good, you know. How come I wouldn't be able to get a title shot? With my whole body of work that I've done, I know I stepped out for a year, but my whole body of work, you know, I know I'm not the most famous guy on social media, but are we talking about who's popular, or are we talking about fighting? What are we talking about? Because if it's fighting, you can't deny me a title shot after I take out Till.
But we both know what, you know, what fights are made depend on many factors, often.
Not really. It just depends how many. You know, maybe what I'll do is I'll pay one of those like marketing teams just to get my social media up there, and that's it. You know, maybe I could even run for president at that point. You know,
that's a strategy. Look, Ben Askren's here as well, and he wants the winner of yourself and Darren. Okay, you said the title fight would be next on your mind, but would that be a fight you'd be interested in?
I'm interested in fighting Ben as like a warm-up downstairs in the lobby or something. You know, that guy hasn't done anything in the UFC. You know,
you weren't impressed with his performance against Robbie Lawler?
At the time, I was like, oh, it looked maybe like weird because I didn't quite see it. But when they play the replay, and I'm speaking to you from a man's point of view, from a fighting man's point of view, you know. If I'm a man and I'm a fighter, and I think I choke somebody out, and the moment I get caught up, oh, I won. But when I see the replay, that this guy puts the thumbs up, because I've never seen, and Robbie's a special guy, but man, I've never seen anybody go to sleep and put the thumbs up.
And then spring out of it.
I haven't seen that yet, so I don't know. A little part of me thinks maybe he wasn't sleeping. Yeah. You know? And if he wasn't sleeping, you're not man enough to give this guy the rematch and be like, you know, he's such a weasel and a coward. Like, no, I would never do that rematch. Let me move on to the next.
Yeah, well, he didn't want the fight in the first place.
He didn't want the fight in the first place, and he definitely doesn't want it now, you know? Ben's a guy that could just get slapped up in the middle of like a training camp or something, but to actually prepare for this coward, you know, especially after fighting a guy like Till that's actually done stuff in the sport, comes to fight and finish guys.
So if you see Ben this week, what would you say to him?
I wouldn't say anything to him now. If he comes up and disrespects me, he's gonna get his face rearranged, you know. But he knows his place in life. He knows he's below betas, you know. He just has to stay away from me and not cross my path, you know.
Well, someone else who might cross your path this week is Michael Bisping, and I know the two of you have had some words, should we say, but Mike's come out this week and he said he kind of wants to squash that beef with you and just kind of say, look, there's no issue on his part. You know, what's your response to that?
If he apologizes to me, no cameras around, no stunt promotion, just me and him, man to man, nobody around, and we just talk, and he apologizes to me, oh, it's cool, it's in the past, whatever, man, you know. I got upset, and it's all on video, you know. It's not like I'm making up stuff. I'm pushing my son in a carriage, and you're gonna come up talking, pointing your fingers in my face. You don't do that, you know? And I could have done the same thing back to him when I seen him in China with his family, and I didn't do that because my father didn't raise me to be like that. There's women and children involved. Just wait for the guy, catch him later, okay. You know, so that's what I tried to do, and, you know, that's something that really bothered me. Besides the attacks on the culture and this and that, you know, I'm fighting a British dude. I don't got to make fun of the English or do as a whole, you know. I can make fun of Till all I want. But as a whole, I don't have to do it, you know. I know I could get the whole country to hate me, and then they're going to want to tune in and the whole gimmick. But come on.
It doesn't sound like that's your game.
It's so taboo, you know, like, hey, wherever you're at, everybody here, and then, oh, everybody hates you. It's so corny, you know. And whatever, you know. It just, Bisping did that numerous times to my culture. And I would love to fight the guy, you know.
Right. You'd have to pull him out of retirement.
Yeah, I would love to
that
fight
might
the
be
guy.
a street fight.
But yeah, he's in retirement, you know. But if he was to apologize to me sincerely, yeah, it's in the past. Forget about it, you know.
Okay, yeah, I know you've got more things to worry about this week. Leon Edwards, our co-main eventer against Gunnar Nelson, he also said that he called you out after his win against Cowboy, and you didn't want that fight.
We agreed.
You disagree?
We agreed to that fight, and if my memory's right, he said he wasn't gonna fight till December. So I'm gonna wait for Leon Edwards when his biggest win is the guy that I finished in 2 rounds. He went to decision with him in England. You know.
Okay.
Why am I waiting for you? What have you done? This is what I mean. This new age fighter, it's like the rappers nowadays as well.
Right.
Like, I'm a killer. I have all these women. I got all these cars. But then you see them in court. They're bankrupt and they're getting slapped up on camera. And you're like, yeah, I thought you were this killer, you know. Leon didn't want to fight, you know, because when I came back out, we asked for numerous opponents. He was one of them. He didn't sign the bout agreement. You know, everybody's this ultra tough guy on social media. Wow, I can't believe it. You know, like, this guy's a killer. You know, you would think like, man, this guy is a convicted killer. He's going around killing people. But when they see you backstage, hey, can I get a picture with you, man? Please, huge fan, huge. Out of my face, we were just talking days ago. You know, you want a picture now? What's going on? You know, and it's confusing to me to tell you the truth.
Well, the fight that has been made, obviously, is yourself and Darren Till. I think that's
and what number's Darren?
Darren's number 3.
And what was this bum guy that you just mentioned? What's his name?
Well, I was talking about Leon Edwards, and I think
what?
he's ranked around number 10, something like that. So he's up there in,
definitely,
he's up there in the division.
I'm definitely ducking guys, you know.
But you know, you are fighting Darren Till, and that's a fight we're all really excited about. And I remember you said as well that, you know, he first came on your radar after he beat Cowboy Cerrone, and you thought that that's a guy you'd fight one day, and that day's kind of come around fairly quickly. He's had a fast rise in the UFC. Did you think you'd be facing him this soon when you first saw that guy fight?
Well, when I saw him beat Cowboy, and then I saw Dana White giving him the stroke job, I was like, yeah, man, this guy's going to get famous fast because Dana's behind him, you know, brings in the English market. That's money, you know. I know this guy's going to be places fast, you know. And he had the skill set already to be doing it and stuff, you know, so I knew it'd be a matter of time, you know.
And we know that the true fans are very aware of your career and what you've done, the veteran that you are in this sport. And I think that's why it's such, not just an exciting main event for yourself, but the whole card's one that's really exciting to our fans. So just give us a reason why we should tune in on Saturday night, why people should watch. What can they expect from you?
Because I'm a dog. That's the #1 reason. I am a dog above all, you know. Maybe I'm not the fastest, maybe I'm not the strongest, but I'm a dog, you know. Whether the fight's going good or bad, I'm always going to bring that dog in me. Till's a pretty game fighter. He likes to compete. He likes to fight. He likes to hurt people. He's wired different than a lot of these bums you mentioned. They just want to touch and play and post Twitters. He actually wants to hurt somebody. So when you get 2 guys like that, that's going to make you want to spend your hard-earned money. And I come from a humble place, so I like to make sure that the humble people that have to work hard for their money, construction workers, anybody, you know, that has to put in labor for their money, they're going to go buy this ticket, I'm going to make sure those people leave saying, damn, I love Masvidal guy, man. He gives me my money's worth time. And
you said, didn't you, that some fighters make you more excited to train, get out of bed earlier. You didn't say names, but is it fair to say that Darren's one of those, he's got you excited for this fight?
Darren's one of those guys, you know, because if I don't take him, if I don't approach this fight with the respect that he deserves, putting forth a training camp and stuff, I could get hurt, you know? And because he puts himself at that risk. That's what makes him a fighter. He puts himself at that risk. He's not trying to just like hug my leg as hard as he can. He got in shape to just hug legs. You know, there's a lot of guys like that. Some of the guys you even mentioned, they just want to hold the leg and then hope that the referee stops it magically or the time runs out and he's been holding that leg as hard as he could for 15 minutes. You're not a fighter, man. That's a little different, you know?
Yeah, that's not what you're going to get from Darren anyway.
Got psychological issues, got daddy issues and stuff. That's not a fighter, though, you know?
Okay. Look, it's something we're really looking forward to. Thank you so much for talking to us. And we know Brad Pickett's one of your favourite fighters, an English guy. You know, you've been training with him here?
Yeah, I got a couple sessions with him here. And then I seen him at the mall and he attacked me, of course. And he's crazy, man. So I'm always training with Brad, man. I've known this guy 12 years plus. And he's a guy that in England doesn't get a lot of respect. But, man, I'm like, how do they not?
Oh, we would love Brad.
Yeah, no, not the respect he deserves. He should be the mayor of some town here. That guy needs a statue here, you know, because I really feel he's one of the best English fighters. He could wrestle very good. He spent a lot of time in America just wrestling, grappling, boxing, striking. And besides all that, I think the reason why he's one of my all-time favorite fighters is because of this, you know, his heart, you know. just the guy's an animal, and I don't feel they don't give me enough respect in England. They're more into like sometimes the talking guys, you know, which Brad is not a talker at all, you know.
No, he's a very well-respected guy. Will he be in your corner?
He won't be in my corner,
yeah,
but he'll definitely be there to support, you know. Plus, he'll be working. I think he's got a couple fighters on the card, so I know he's going to be a little busy, you know.
Great coach now as well. Well, we cannot wait to watch you in there. Thank you so much for talking to us. Thank you.